Hi VC. I just recently just did a video on five, well it became seven artists that I wish I'd seen. I thought in the same mould I'd now do a quick video selecting the five gigs that I would consider to be the best that I've ever seen. I could have listed quite a number. At the beginning of at the end of the 60s and the beginning of the 70s, I was constantly going to bands, concerts, or live gigs, and I saw a lot. Let's say this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and select five. Four are really from, sorry, six, I think. Never mind, I'll get onto it in a minute. But certainly right up there are the festival or one day gigs of the 70s that were very popular. I was first in line to get the tickets for these. The first one was June 1975, Wembley Stadium, Elton John, and listen to this for a bill, a supporting bill. The Beach Boys, the Eagles, Joe Walsh, Chaka Khan and Rufus, and Stackridge. And this concert was gratefully in lovely sunshine, which isn't always the case in the UK, even in June. And it was an absolutely adorable afternoon. One has to say that Elton John really was taking a big risk being top of the bill with the Beach Boys and the Eagles. Both of those acts performed absolutely brilliantly. Eagles hadn't actually got Joe Walsh at that time as a full-time member, but he did bounce onto the stage for their encore, and most of the material was from Desperado, On the Border, and One of These Nights. And as I say, it was absolutely perfect listening to that. The sound was 5-star. And then the Beach Boys came on, and we basically had a greatest hits concert with the whole stadium. I think there was about 80,000 in there singing along to every number. It was the most wonderful experience in a big arena that I'd experienced up until that time. Elton, to be fair, performed admirably, and he was, of course, previewing his brand new album, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. And so these songs hadn't been heard by the fans, and he did a sound job. I better move on. The second, again, a venue, a one-day affair, 1974 at Nebworth, the first Nebworth festival, and listen to this bill. We started off with the Tim Buckley. I can't recall much about that. I was indulging in lots of strange cigarettes at the time. Alex Harvey band was next on. They came on about midday. And then we had the Mahavishnu Orchestra, and the alcohol and substances really accelerated when McLaughlin and his gang were performing that beautiful music from In a Mountain Flame. And then just mid-afternoon, Van Morrison appeared, and unfortunately that signalled my disappearance into a sleepy haze. So I can't really recall anything much about Van Morrison other than Brown Eyed Girl when I woke up. And then we went into the bands, the brothers. The first set was for the Doobie Brothers, a thoroughly enchanting hour of stadium rock. Lots of sing-alongs there. And then, of course, the top of the bill, the first time they'd ever appeared in the UK, the Allman Brothers Band. And they, of course, sadly were without Dwayne Allman and Berry Oakley, who'd sadly passed on. But the guitar player Dickie Betts stood in admirably, and we got a tremendous 3 hours, two sets from them, and they went through virtually all of Live at Fillmore East, most of Brothers and Sisters, and I was absolutely delighted having got both albums. And then we crawled away in the car around about midnight, I think. So an extraordinary day for that particular one. Next up was, this is another one-day festival. They were such great value in those days. This one was held in 1972. I was at the tender age of 18, and it was at the Crystal Palace Bowl near the football stadium, and it was basically a vehicle to launch the new album by Yes, which was just about released, Close to the Edge, and it was the first time that they performed it live, and they had Rick Wakeman on keyboards, and Alan White was behind the drums, and supporting them were the Mahavishnu Orchestra, and that was the first time that we'd seen this band, and they were absolutely superb. The other bands on the bill are Lindisfarne, Gary Wright's Wonder Wheel, and Capability Brown. I can't remember anything about them, but I do recall the two heavyweights and an extraordinary concert by Yes. And I really learnt to appreciate the magician that Steve Howe was. And moving on, the next one, this is the fourth, I think, was The Who live at Charlton. And I think this was around about that time. I haven't got details of this, John, yet. But they came on, and it was about to creep into night. It was dusk. And all I can remember was the lights, which were absolutely extraordinary. There was sort of strobe lights, and it really took the place apart. Really, the crowd went crazy, and I've since read that Daltrey and Townsend can't remember anything about that night because they were so high. Well, they didn't forget how to play, I can tell you. It was an extraordinary presentation of Tommy and all the other stuff from Live at Leeds, and the closer, of course, with these array of lights shooting across the sky, Won't Get Fooled Again. Extraordinary. And I'm now going to close this one with the fifth. I could have done so many more, but this one I have to acknowledge as being the greatest concert I've ever seen. And that was in 1980. And I trundled up to the Empire Pool Arena in Wembley in London to see Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. This is the first of 4 nights that I had tickets for. I was completely obsessed with this artist, and I'll remember it so vividly. I arrived there. I believe I was on my own, but I might have had a friend with me, and we arrived approximately 2 hours before the concert was due to start. Of course, there was no support act because Springsteen was guaranteed to give you 2 sets. So you were looking at over 3 hours, somewhere near 4 hours of live music. And I sat outside and I had a couple of cans of beer and a sandwich or 2. And I sat down and I was outside the venue, and the band came on to warm up. and they started just going through songs, little snippets of songs, not the whole song, but you know, a minute here, a minute there, and the building felt like it was shaking. Particularly, I can recall "Prove It All Night," and I just thought, well, if it's as good out here, what is it going to be like inside there? And I can tell you, it was extraordinary. And we had, as I say, all the records, all the music from the river, a lot of Darkness on the Edge of Town, and a lot of from Born to Run, and we did get Rosalita from the Wild, the Innocent, and Who Street Shuffle, and Spirits in the Night. I do remember that. And that was the first of 4 visits I made to that venue in a week. So anyway, those are my stories. I'm actually going to do some more videos on live gigs. And I hope I don't make you too jealous. But they were such a part of my life from 1969 to the beginning of the 80s, before work really smothered my free time up. So I hope you enjoyed it. That's 5 gigs never to be forgotten.